Good morning everyone and welcome to Tech Interceptor. Recently, we found out together the ASRock X670E Taichi Carrara, but if you don't already seen, run to do it here on the top right. However, also our various AMD partner manufacturer has launched its new X670 motherboard designed for new Ryzen 7000 series desktop CPU. Today, this new episode of First Contact will be looking at the new X670 mobile, this time seen by Asus. This is the Asus Prime X670E Pro Wi-Fi. First of all, remember to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell to stay up to date on upcoming videos, and if you want to take a look at our Twitter and Instagram profiles. Come on, let's start. In the package we find of course the motherboard, the user manual, 2 SATA free 6GB to the second cable, 1 Asus Wi-Fi moving antenna, 2 rubber package for M2 socket, 2 screw package for M2 SSD and 1 cool connector. The X670 board has an ATX form factor and it measures 30.5 cm for 24.4 cm. The design is very simple, very industrial, with some silver elements that stand out on the black PCB that doing to base. More in detail, it has 2 massive fully covered MOSFET silver metal brushed heatsink with thermal pad at the left and up to the socket. The biggest of 2, it has a large decal that include the words X670 and the 01 Prime in the green gradient colorway. Plus, the motherboard features many other dedicated heatsink, like as those for the X670 chipset and those that cover the free M2 socket, all with different dimensions, present symbol for the assembly and disassembly operation like as X and arrows, as well as gray lines and the word M2 in Roman number printing on it. In addition, the largest is enriched with decal that report the Asus logo and the word refinement and some geometrical forms. The board presents a VRM layout feature 13 plus 2 power phases that guarantee the maximum power and efficiency. As the all-new X670 board, also this features the new AM5 socket and support the entire AMD Ryzen 7000 series desktop CPU that include 4 SKU, the Ryzen 9 7950X, Ryzen 9 7900X, Ryzen 7 7700X and Ryzen 5 7600X CPUs. But for those who don't know, I recap the specifications. The flagship has a 16 core and a 32 thread, 5.7 GHz of boost clock, 4.5 GHz of base clock, 80 MB of cache and 170 watts of TDP. The Ryzen 9 7900X has a 12 core and a 24 thread, 5.6 GHz of boost clock, 4.7 GHz of base clock, 76 MB of cache and 170 watts of TDP. The Ryzen 7 7700X has 8 core and 16 thread, 5.4 GHz of boost clock, 4.5 GHz of base clock, 40 MB of cache and 105 watts of TDP. The Ryzen 5 7600X has 6 core and 12 thread, 5.3 GHz of boost clock, 4.7 GHz of base clock, 48 MB of cache and 105 watts of TDP. If you're duped about the compatibility of your CPU, it's always better consult the CPU support list of a manufacturer. The motherboard is equipped with a new 4 DDR5 DIMM dual-channel memory architecture socket. These can install from 32GB single DIMM memory module up to a maximum of 128GB with an operating frequency from 4800 MHz up to 6400 MHz in overclocking. Continuing to the motherboard layout internal connection, starting from the left in upside, we have got a cool head, 8 plus 8-pin ATX12 power connector for the CPU fan header, water pump fan header, another optional CPU fan connector, and addressable Gen 2 header. After going down on the right, there are cooled header for CPU, DRAM, VGA and a boot, 24-pin ATX main power socket connector, a front panel USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C header, a chassis fan header, 2 SATA 3 6GB/2 ports, the clear CMOS and the power button, and a CPU over voltage jumper. In the bottom, the Mobo have a system panel header, a Thunderbolt header, 1 water pump fan header, 1 chassis fan header, thermal sensor header, 2 SATA 3 6GB/2 ports, 3 USB 2.0 header, chassis fan header, a RGB header, an addressable header Gen 2 COM port header, and the front panel audio header. Moreover, in the middle take place an additional chassis fan header, the SPI TPM Truss Platform module header. The storage option of the new X670E motherboard are composed to 4 SATA 3 6GB/2 connector, 1 M2 socket that supports storage devices type 2280 at PCI Express 5.0 operating at 4 mode that is 128GB/2, 2 M2 storage devices type 2280 at PCI Express 4.0 running at 4.4 mode that is 64GB/2, and one another M2 socket that supports storage devices type 22110 at SATA 3 6GB/2 and at PCI Express 3.0 operating at a 4.4 mode. As expansion slot, the motherboard feature one PCI Express 5.0 for 16 slots with safe slot Core Plus protection, one PCI Express 4.0 for 16 slot running at a 4.4 mode that is 64GB/2 and one PCI Express 4.0 for 4 slots. The audio compartment mount the Realtek S1220E 7.1 surround sound high definition audio codec with DTS-X Ultra and two-way AI noise cancellation. On back, in the I/O panel, we find firstly a display port, a HDMI port, a double USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports, one USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port, another USB 3.2 Type-C port, but this time of Gen 1, an Ethernet port, another USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-E port, and a USB 3.2 Gen 2 for 2 Type-C port, 3 3.2 Gen 1 Type-E ports, and a USB Gen 1 port equipped with the BIOS flashback function, the Wi-Fi antenna ports, and the audio jacks that include center subwoofer, side speaker out, the rear speaker out, front speaker out, and a microphone input jack. But now it is time to talk about the prices. The motherboard is available now on retailers at price of about $350 or 370 euros at the time of making this video. As always, I leave you the link to buy it in the description below. Well, that's all for today. I hope you're enjoying the helpful today video. As always, let me know what do you think in the comments below. If you find this video helpful, then leave a like, share it all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Huge thanks for watching. See you again next time.